Westbrook had 37 points in the Thunder's 138-113 win over the Timberwolves, but it wasn't enough to push the Thunder into the postseason. Westbrook finishes as the NBA's leading scorer, averaging 28 points per game. It is just the 10th time in NBA history that the league's leading scorer failed to make the playoffs.
What's the scoring title mean to you?
Doesn't mean nothing. Good job, hooray. I'm at home watching other teams play. Doesn't mean nothing.
Westbrook essentially saying he doesn't care about that individual award. Skip Bayless, are you buying it?
I am not buying it, but I will preface my remarks by admitting right off the top, we're talking about what's in a man's heart here, and I don't know exactly what's in Russell Westbrook's heart. So this is just my opinion, having closely observed Russell for all these years in Oklahoma City. I certainly believe he plays with a rage to win basketball games, a rage unlike any I think I have ever seen. I give you that. But I also believe he cares as much about personal achievement, because this young man has a huge ego. You have to have a big ego to do what he does. He has a tunnel-visioned ego, the likes of which I haven't seen in a while. I believe he badly wanted to be the All-Star Game MVP, and he was. I believe he became enamored of, if not obsessed with, triple doubles. He had 11 this year, the most since Jason Kidd had, 13 back in, 05, 06? Very impressive. But even though Russell denied it, do you remember the Friday night in Oklahoma City when he quibbled with the scorer's table about a potential 10th rebound he did not get?
Yeah, he denied it.
Yeah, he denied it, but it sure looked to me like, from what I saw and what I heard from people who were at the game, that he was at least sort of asking, are you sure I didn't get that 10th rebound? So that's proof positive to me. He certainly wanted the triple-double. I believe that Russell Westbrook has the run of that franchise right now. He's got the greenest light in all of pro basketball. Obviously, Scott Brooks, is it fair to say, is on the hottest seat of coaches now?
He shouldn't be.
But he is.
But he may be.
I think he might be. Okay, that's fair.
He
may be. I don't believe he gets to coach much with Russell Westbrook. I think Sam Presti loves Russell Westbrook, maybe to a fault, and Russell pretty much has his head on the court. He calls his own plays, he does whatever he wants to do, and that's fine, because most nights he backs it up. But I don't for a second believe this scoring title didn't mean anything to him, and I'm going to stick on what I said that night after 43 shots were taken by Russell Westbrook at Indiana, a game they really needed, a game I thought I know they could have, I thought they should have won the game, and Russell turned his teammates into fourth quarter bystanders. You cannot win that game that way. I know mostly he's just saying, I've got to do this myself, because he knows he's a much better option than the 4 people on the court around him. But you have to learn to use those 4, because they're pretty quality 4 when I'm talking about Cantor and Morrow and whoever else is on the court. They're good enough. They can make some big shots too. And he took 43, and they lose by 8. And that was a turning point for them. And as you know, down the stretch, they were at 41-30 at one point, and it looked like they were a lock to make the playoffs. And then they went on a jag where they lost 7 of 9. And I thought Russell just got too selfish. I'm sorry. So you can't tell me that scoring title didn't mean a thing to him. I do think it meant something, but that's not to say that winning doesn't mean anything to him either.
Well, that's the whole point. And I agree with you. I don't believe him when he says it meant nothing to him. But I think that's in the short term, as the playoffs continue to go on, and he gets over the fact that they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
He'll care about it a little bit more.
Sure.
It's a tremendous accomplishment. You average 28 points per game. You put the nation on the map, the basketball world on the map, that you are indeed an elite player, the likes of potentially top 5. There's no question that that's something that you're going to be prideful of. We got to make sure that we don't come across as individuals that are knocking individuals for having that ego, that pride, okay? Because that's what stirs and really boils their competitive fervor, and that's what we want from them. I think that Russell Westbrook was sincere last night is that it didn't mean a damn thing to him at that moment. Because at that moment, you learn that you're not making the playoffs, that you don't get to compete in the postseason and start off the new season the way that you want to. This is a guy that's been to an NBA Finals. This is a guy that's been to several conference finals. I mean, he's accustomed to playing in the postseason. And here he is right now, sitting on the sidelines at home watching the playoffs with the rest of everybody else. Matter of fact, I dare venture to say that he cared about significantly more about the playoffs than the scoring title because of that ego, because Kevin Durant wasn't there and Serge Ibaka wasn't there. And had he pulled this off, that would have been him getting this team to the playoffs on his back. Obviously, that meant a great deal to him as well. So I can understand why he would say it didn't mean a damn thing to him, because in that moment, it doesn't. In the weeks and months to follow, it will matter. Next season, when Kevin Durant comes back and he's alongside the scoring champion, it will matter. But in that moment, to ask him that question in the immediate aftermath of finding out that they didn't make the playoffs, I do believe him when he says it didn't mean anything to him, because I think at that moment it did not.
I'm with you. So bottom line, my Spurs shockingly eliminated the Thunder last year in Game 6 in Oklahoma City, and they shockingly eliminated them again this time. Because I think the Thunder thought the Spurs were going to win that game last time.
I know, I agree with that. All right, let's
Oh, we're good. I thought you'd talk the whole show off.
No, he has not.
Oh, okay.
He saved some time
I'm not talking to Delina. Talks very low. Steven.
She's like Manny Pacquiao.
Be nice. I'm so mad.
We love Delina now.
We do.
Come on now.
We do.
Come on now.
She's the best.
She's the one.
Okay, go on.
Okay, I agree with you. It's usually best player on best team. It's which player made his team better. Well, you can argue that Harden made... I don't argue that. I think Steph made his team even better than James made his team, because Steph's team is winning the West. I didn't even look what it is, the final analysis. What is it, 10.5 or 11? 10.5? 10.5 games in the West? That's astonishing to me. And I gave you the figure yesterday that when Steph was on the court, they outscored the opponents 16.5 points per 100 possessions. That's ridiculous. When he's on the bench, it's 0.6 more that they outscored. So, I'm sorry.
Okay, so wait, time out. Shaq responded. He has something specifically to say to you.
Oh, Lord.
He says, Stephen A., you're right, I was asleep. Then I heard your big mouth yelling. I had a big mouth yelling.
You woke him up.
He said, let my main man Skip talk, and your tie doesn't match your jacket while you're talking trash.
Oh, wow.
That's
a low blow.
That is a low blow. He's getting on me today. Shaq's suits are slipping.
Oh, bye-bye.
He thinks that he's GQ, but it's not. The wardrobe is slipping. I mean, Mark, Jerome, Uncle Jerome, somebody tell him. Okay. Somebody tell him.
In March, Shaq said Steph Curry was his MVP.
Okay.
In
March, he said that.
That's right.
He's not being too slick.
You know, when I tune into TNT, I do only for Shaq. That's what, he's the reason I watch TNT.
Shaq and Fool. Have you watched him when he's making fun of these guys, Shaq and the Fool? That stuff with Otto Porter, when he just freezes. Oh my Lord, it's straight comedy. That is the play of the year to me.
So he said, let his main man talk. And
I don't have to listen to Shaq.
You ain't got to
listen, Shaq. Stay on TNT. This is ESPN, baby.
I should use Shaq's method when he does this on the camera. I should just shut you out.
Yeah, when you want him to talk.
I told Phil. Phil know how I play.
Okay.
Kobe know how I play. Give me the ball, I'm going to dunk it.
Shaq is an all-star.
Eric Spears.
Laker through and through.
What I'm talking about.
Shaq, what a pleasure. Thank you for
coming. Oh, don't tell me it's a pleasure.
Get
here. Get up. Get dressed. It's noon.
It's not.
It's noon.
Put on those suits. I love your suits.
Get up, Shaq. It could be 9 a.m.
He got on my tie. He got on my tie.
Your tie's okay. Not too bad.